Giving a speech at my high school, and I wouldn't even call it a speech, but more of like a life conversation. So my alma mater high school, which is beyond years ago, but let's just say that it's been a while. So I've gone to this place to speak multiple times. This is probably my third time, but this has been the most impactful time. And the reason I think that is because I reached out to them and met them where they were. And so the things I talked to them about was, failure, growth, and always being able to, learn and adapt from that with watching out for your circle. And so what I mean by that is, for those of you that are familiar with it, which a lot of us are, whether we admit it or not, failure is just going to happen. That's just a thing, and you can label it as bad. You can label it as not something that you enjoy because it's supposed to be uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. So if you're failing and you feel irritated or frustrated or embarrassed or all the things that come with that, just know that it's a growing pain. You think about the time that most of us were growing up, or whenever it stopped, because some of you guys are like 6'10". I'm like a 5'10" guy, which is close. It hurt. Growing hurts. So, you had those growing pains in your knees, in your arms, or, wherever it was. It's been so long. But that's what happens with failure. Failure hurts. It's embarrassing. You're in front of people. It happens. And if you're able to take it from being an embarrassing situation and seeming that thinking that the world is just over, my life is done, exposed, are you dead? Did anything extreme happen to you, or was it just your ego that got crushed? And if that's the case, then it was just your ego that got crushed. Good news. The good news is you get to learn from it. So you can either take that failure and put it into a cycle. And what I mean by that is they're things that can be cyclical if we allow them to be. So if you fail and you are so worried about failing again, then guess what? By trying to avoid failure, you're going to fail again. And it's weird how that works, because you think by avoiding failure after learning or failing the first time and feeling what you felt, that you could avoid it, but you can't. So once you go from failure, if you decide that you want to grow from the failure, you're taking a lesson and not a loss. And so that was part of the thing that I talked to them about, and they were really engaged with it, because I think our young people now, they see so many images of success. They see so many people that are just making it, and most of them don't even know. And it took me a long time in life to find out that half of that is either a fake version of success, or you're seeing the other half of the story. And what I mean by that is that these people that they may see that are on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, any type of social media with the blue check mark, they see that's a status symbol, and they think to themselves, man, I can't wait to get there one day. But they don't know what a lot of those people that they see that are very successful put into it on the other side. And they also don't know that some of those people that are really putting images on social media, projecting a brand of success, they're really not successful. They just want to convince you that they're successful. Because if they can convince you that they're successful, guess what they can do to you? They can charge you money to teach them how to be successful. It's not rocket science, people. You don't have to pay someone to teach you how to be successful, because guess what? Words don't teach. That's the job of life experience. So if you want to learn and you want to be successful and you want to grow, change your definition of success. Maybe you're marking yourself with the wrong metrics. Maybe you're telling yourself that success is predicated on money. Maybe you're telling yourself success is predicated on all these cars and clothes and jewelry and a nice house and everything. I'm not against any of that, because I have a nice vehicle and live in a comfortable house, but that wasn't the mile marker of saying I'm successful. So, that was just a quick message because I felt I needed to get it out because it really hit home with them. Knowing that it's okay to fail and knowing that whenever you go through failure, that's not the end of you and it doesn't have to be the end of you. As a matter of fact, if you're not failing often enough, then you're not trying enough new things, then which means that you're not adapting to your new tastes and preferences because we've all grown and changed. We've all decided that maybe I liked, one thing at one point and now I like something else. That's your growth. That's your personal, professional, spiritual growth, any of that. So, I think that having this message out there and going out to talk to a lot of these high school, and I don't even want to call them kids because they're adults, and that's almost condescending. So, talking to a lot of high school adults or young adults that are going through these important, critical junctures in their life, and hearing that people, even where I'm at in life, even though they might consider what I have to be success, I don't look at it that way. But that's just the desire to have more from me. And, most people, I told them this, that if you are looking at where you are today, you probably looked at that at some point in time in your life and thought you'd never get there. So, it's okay to pat yourself on the back every once in a while and say, hey, I did this, or hey, I accomplished that, because, ultimately you can't constantly beat yourself up over failure when it's a life learning lesson cycle and there's levels to all of that. That's all I got to say. Maybe I'll be back with more talk about it, but I think it's a great thing if you can find, a high school to donate your time to. I did mine for Warren Central Academy of Finance, and I think it really helped them. The only advice I would say is if you're talking to these young adults, don't turn it into and I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just giving you advice in my personal failures. And my first time was a resume of like, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, and I've done this. And the way I've gotten there is through here, 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 and here. That's not necessarily the best way to reach them from what I've experienced. My first and second, discussions were not as well received as this one. And the reason this one was well received is because you've got to give them information that's tangible that they can take today. They can take the lessons of today and wrap it up and use it in their daily life. No, it's not going to change their life today, but what you're hoping to do, and what I was hoping to do, is to put a little drop of a reminder that stays with them, so that whenever they first face adversity, that they use this, they go back to this, and that they think to themselves, yeah, failure's not bad. Like I can learn from failure. So if I can learn from this failure, then I can grow as a person. Okay, so this just means I'm growing. No big deal, no big deal. And maybe we'll cut down on the mental illness that we're seeing with these younger generations, and maybe we'll cut back on some of the dangers of what's going on out there. I'm not saying success is what drives them to do that. I'm saying that the image that they think that they need to project, or where they feel they need to be, the measuring stick for them, is very, very much exaggerated. I'll put it that way. So if you have time, go talk to your local high school, see if maybe you can get in a quick 30-minute conversation with them, and make sure it stays a conversation, because I think that's the most helpful. Because when they see your humility and your willingness to expose yourself on a level of mistakes, they will be more open to listen to you. There's a question answer dialogue of getting them involved that really was helpful. So that's it.